In this recording, we are going to demonstrate how to perform a two samples or independent samples t-test using a p-value approach and an online calculator. So T stands for T students, a particular statistician. And the t-test is very similar to the z-test in that the t-test now, the sample size, you can use it when the sample size is below 30 and when you do not know the population standard deviation. So you can use the t-test instead of the z-test. So they are like, brothers or sisters. Yeah. So it says researcher Franco claims that the average score of the fundamentals of statistics Math 121A is significantly lower than that of Math 121B. Okay? So to test his claim, he surveyed a sample of 15 of both the 121A and the Math 121B students. So using a significance level of 0.05 and an online calculator, let's help Franco complete the independent samples t-test for mean via a p-value approach. The data is presented in the following tables. So here you can see presented in this table the scores for both the Math 121A and the Math 121B. And we'd like to test to see whether or not, there is a significant difference in their performance in the Math 121A is less than Math 121B. So you're comparing two sets of data. So that's why it's called a two samples t-test, okay, or independent samples t-test. So what we need to do now is to follow the steps of a p-value approach. Step number one, it says that we have to state a pair of hypotheses. And to do that, we have to translate the claim to symbolic form because that's a t-test. Both z and t-tests are very similar in that regard. The claim is that the performance of Math 121A is significantly lower than Math 121B. All right. So we have to translate this to symbolic form, and here it is. The population mean of Math 121A is less than the population mean of Math 121B. And as you can see, this is the left tail because the arrow is pointing towards the left for the alternative statement. And null will be in the opposite direction with the equal sign. So the null is saying that the population mean of Math 121A is greater than or equal to the population mean of Math 121B. So we can move on to steps 2, 3, and 4. Step 2 says we have to establish a significant level. Let's use 0.05. Step 3 says that we have to get a test statistic and to use that test statistic to obtain a p-value. Right, to calculate the test statistic, to get the p-value, the significance level, all of this can be done for us automatically using the online calculator. So let's access the online calculator for two samples to test. Here's the link for the independent samples t-test using an online software. So you can just click on this link, and here it says two samples t-test calculator. Now we have to set the tail. The tail is the left tail, as we stated already. And the significance level is 0.05, and everything else can stay the same. So now we have to enter the raw data. We can enter the raw data or paste Excel or enter summarize using the sample mean at the end, and standard deviation, etc. But we are going to enter the raw data. So we click on enter raw data. So it's also given us two columns. Here it is. One for Math 121A and the other one is for Mach 1 to 1B. So quick Mach 1. Right. So let's go to the database to copy and paste. Okay, sorry. And let's repeat the same for Mach 1 to 1B. Basically, what we need to do now is to click on calculate sample. So what that will do, it will give us the statistics for the two samples. So the sample mean for A is 71 and for B now is about 88. So we can see that the sample mean for A is smaller than that of B. But is it a significant difference? Okay, is Mach 1 to 1 is significantly smaller. All right, the sample size is 15 and the sample standard deviation is 16 and 10 respectively. So we can copy and paste these statistics in our document. Right? So we have pasted it here, right? And now what we can do now is to go back and to perform test. It's a calculate test. So you click on calculate test, and here it says in the report that the p-value is less than the null, so we have to reject. It's less than the significance level, so we have to reject the null. Right? The p-value is less than the significance level, so we have to reject the hypothesis. And it goes on to say the average of Mach 1 is population is considered to be less than the average of Mach 1 is population, because the null is saying greater than or equal to, and the alternative is saying less than. So we have rejected the null, and here's the final conclusion. As you can see, the p-value is 0.001615, which is less than the significance level of 0.05. So that is the reason why the null hypothesis was rejected. And we can copy this and paste this in our work. So as you can see, decision and conclusion time. The null was rejected because the p-value, when you compare the p-value to the significance level, the p-value is less than the significance level. And based on the data, at a 5% significance level, less than that of half. And this actually confirms our initial suspicion because we saw that Mahmoud sample 71 grams, the other sample 7. So that's how you perform two samples to test using one calculator.